I think the two countries, they are at the moment in alignment, that economic interests are aligned. As the Chinese economy is moving from one depending largely on export to one depending and driven by consumption, I think the Chinese market is, the UK companies can benefit from that, access Chinese markets, especially in luxury goods. But most importantly, I think what the UK needs is Chinese investment. I think the UK needs China more than China needs the UK. But in terms of infrastructure, I think there is a huge need for investment. I can't see the bank lending this amount of money for local infrastructure. I can't see the government bringing the finances. That's why I think China's finances are going to be used to invest in this infrastructure sector. Plus, I think in terms of investment in real estates, there is a huge need in the north, and China is investing in that. Plus in railway, a high-speed railway, where China has great capabilities, I think Chinese investors are going to benefit and invest in the sector as well. On the other side, I think China does need the UK, maybe to a lesser extent, in terms of internationalization of the currency. London is has a huge expertise in this, and it will help China in terms of international its currency. Also, I think China is investing in the UK, and this investment is going to be showcased to the rest of the world what China can do in investment in infrastructure. Historically, China has been, or Chinese firms have been buying local brands like the London taxi brand and other brands. And now I think China has the capabilities to invest and build infrastructure, huge infrastructures around the world. And the UK will be a shop window to showcase what China is able to do.
Kemal, I want to ask you about something that may have surprised some earlier this year. Britain became one of the founding members of the Chinese-led Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank, to some dismay by the United States. What does that type of commitment show?
I think it showed a lot. I think the UK was the first Western country to apply for membership of the IIB, and that sent a strong signal, a strategic clarity that China is a strategic partner for the UK. And I think it moved the discussion from this having USA as a strategic partner to having China as another strategic partner in this bank. But what it shows also that is the bank is international. It gained, I think, credibility and more legitimacy when the UK has joined this bank. And it's also, as I said, the UK is aiming to have a first mover advantage by being the Western country to apply for membership. In terms of what UK is bringing to the table, it's not very clear, because in terms of investment in infrastructure, the UK needs investment, and they talked a lot about having opportunities to invest in networking the Asian countries where there is tremendous opportunities for investment. But what the UK, I think, is going to bring is, in terms of governance and in terms of the way the bank is going to be structured and run, I think the UK has experience of that, and is going to bring it to the IAB.
Would you say that there is maybe a sense of optimism and anticipation with this visit? There are some media reports using the term golden era to describe China-UK ties. What is your take on that?
I think if I followed how this term emerged from a lot of, it used to be a special partner, and then a golden decade, and now is a golden era. I think it's very capturing, it captures imaginations. But what it says that I think the UK and China, 18 months ago, the relationship wasn't as good as it is now. I think it just showed that there is an alignment between the economic interest of the UK and China. And this is not the case with so many countries. The two economies are significantly different, and therefore there is a huge scope for complementarity and cooperation. As China tried to internationalize its currency, I think the UK can contribute to that with its experience with the stock market. And also, I think the Chinese economy is becoming more service-driven. The UK can contribute to that. I think that is not the case with countries where they see China as perhaps a threat to their manufacturing. The UK is seeing it more as an opportunity for investment and further cooperation. So I'm not sure what the term means, but it's capturing where the two countries are going, and it gives a sense that it is going to be a long-term relationship between the two countries.